If I were to ask you when this game was, you'd probably take one look at the crowd and erroneously shout out 2020. Isn't it obvious? There's no fans. Well, what if I were to tell you that it was this year? Yep, that's right, 2024. It's an absolute disgrace that this little people would turn out for a game of AFLW football. And the opening round of the season, for that matter. So how do we fix this? Well, that's what I'm going to be looking at in today's video. This is the problem with the AFLW and how to fix it. The first glaring issue of the AFLW is the length of the season. Currently the league stands at 10 rounds, with each team playing one midweek game throughout the year to up the number of games each team plays to 11. This 10-round system was fine when the league only had 8 teams, but the league has since expanded to the full 18 teams of the AFL, and it is really just inadequate. You don't even play every team once a year. The reasoning behind it keeping restricted to 10 games is that you don't want to run into the AFL or cricket seasons, but I think having it interfere a bit at the start of the year might not be such a bad thing. Here's my proposal. Start the AFLW in the 14th round of the men's competition. This creates the possibility for some games to be held as curtain raisers to AFL games like the Bulldogs did ahead of their final against the Hawks. This would draw more attention to the AFLW game. My proposal would see the AFLW run from the 14th round of the men's, as I said earlier, and play a full 20-game season with a gather-round style week of footy played midweek from Wednesday to Friday in Melbourne in Grand Final week, to coincide with the Footy Fest. This would solve the issue of the season being too short, as currently a fairy tale story like Hawthorn's in the men's competition is simply not possible. Losing your first 5 games in the AFLW currently is an almost guaranteed bottom half finish. Last year St Kilda only lost 1 game after round 3 and yet still missed out on finals. One of the most informed teams in the competition missing out on a chance at potentially a premiership because the season is simply too short. Second, I've got the length for the quarters. They're just too short, at only 17 minutes plus time on. The AFLW quarters at the longer end of the scale only go for around 25 minutes, and the games are low scoring as a result. The idea behind the shorter quarters when the competition was first established was a good idea, as it was played in the summer. But it's in the spring now, and it's time to equal out the men's competition and the women's competition in almost every aspect that we can. Third and last is the widely believed narrative that AFLW is boring and low scoring. While it might not be as high scoring as the AFL is now, back when the AFL was first established as the VFL in 1897, it was low scoring too, about the same as the AFLW is now. This plays into my plant analogy. This is women's footy. For years we didn't water it, but now we have in recent years begun to water it, and it is growing. And it's not only going to get bigger and better as we continue to support and fund it, or in my example, water it. So this is why we need every footy fan that can to go down to their team's games and support their team like you would the men's, as it is only going to get bigger and better and potentially rival the men's competition in years to come. With the more people growing up with the AFLW, the more girls that will be getting into the game and playing the footy from a younger age, and thus producing more talent. So that's my 3 ideas on how to fix the AFLW. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe as it really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you in the next video.